Hello, hello. Let's see if I can find this on the iPad. See if I'm actually live.
You all. Alright, so
Let's see, home, let's see what happens. There I am. All right. Hey, Margie. Hello, hello. Hi, Natalie. Welcome, welcome. For those of you who may not know me, my name is Linda Anderson. I am the owner of Aqueous Silk, LLC. I do a lot of water marbling. We're not marbling tonight. I usually go live every Monday night. Hi, Julie. Welcome. And do some marbling, but I had something I had going on last night, and then it got canceled, and then I wasn't ready, and da 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 da. So I decided tonight I have some other stuff I need to do to prep for marbling, so I thought we'd do that tonight. I'm doing well, Margie, thank you. I survived a day at the office today, and so that's always good. It's always wonderful when I can get home and delve into my creative life, which I much prefer. Hi, Joni, how are you? So, tonight I am going to be, pardon me, I am going to be cutting out the fronts for dog bandanas. This is the great big one. This measures 15 3/4 inches in width, and it is 10 1/2 inches in depth. And these, pardon me, these bandanas slip over the collar. So I have this pattern, and then I have these two sizes. I don't know if you can see the difference here. No, you really can't. They're almost the same size. One is just about an inch bigger than the other. They're both the same depth. Hi, Tracy. Welcome, welcome. And so I'm going to, what I generally do, and then I have this little one. This one, I guess I should give all the measurements. This one is 8 inches by about 5 7/8 inches. And these other two are, one is 9 1/2 inches by 6 3/4, and the other one is 9 1/2 by, well, those, they look to be the same size, but they're not. Let's see, that's, oh yeah, this is 8 3/4 inches. I know my numbers. Honestly, I know my numbers. Hi, Rachel. How are you? Yeah, and 6 3/4, and they're both 6 3/4 inches deep. But what I do is I cut out the fabric, and out of white fabric that I have, it's a ready to be dyed fabric, and then I cut the backs out of some other kind of fabric. I use gray or black. I have a really pretty black pattern fabric that I use, but I didn't bring any of that downstairs. It's all up in my studio, so I'll just cut the fronts tonight. I'm going to get a bunch of these. I want to have some of these. I was wondering. I knew it was getting close, Joni. Awesome. Are you ready to head down there to all that heat? Oops, and I'm bumping the table and jiggling the camera. Sorry about that. But then I do something else on the back, and so I'm just going to cut out all the fronts. I actually do one that's a little bit smaller than this. My family, we like miniature dachshunds, and you know, like me, they have no legs, so their legs are itty bitty, and so are mine. So we are very partial to them. So I have some teeny tiny ones, and also since masks are required at Crafters Convention, I am going to cut a piece for my mask and marble it, and I'm going to bling it out. So I've got lots to get ready for. Yeah, it was just lovely here today. It was 83 degrees on my way home from work. It was in the 50s on my way into the office this morning. It was lovely. The leaves are starting to turn. It's just amazing. I love this time of year. Fall is one of my favorite times. And I'll say that about every single season as it starts. So if you're around for a while, you'll hear me say, oh, winter is my favorite. Oh, I love spring. So it's just, I love the seasons. But, so anyway, I'm going to be, I'm doing this a little bit different. Many people will take and pin this pattern to the fabric and then take your fabric scissors, which are not your paper scissors or other craft scissors. These are only fabric. Take those and cut it out and then move on. I like to measure the depth, cut the strip with my rotary cutter, and then start cutting around it using my long ruler and my rotary cutter. Every now and then, if I get close to the edge or if I need to do something more intricate, I'll go ahead and cut it out with my fabric scissors. But it kind of depends on where I am, how much room I have, and all of that as to which. And I need to stop leaning on the table. I apologize. Would somebody tell me next time you see the camera shake, get off the table. But so I am going to get started and cut some of these out. I'm almost to the end. I bought 10 yards of this quilter's fabric. It's called Ready to be Dyed. So I don't pre-wash this. I just cut it and then I marble it. And it works out beautifully. It takes the color so wonderful. I'm just thrilled with it. I wasn't sure, me being me, ordered 10 yards of fabric that I didn't know I was gonna like. So, but I loved it. So it all worked out. And my room is getting hot already. So let me turn you down. I'm trying to get my fabric straight. I guess it's not that big of a deal since I do have a pattern. But I do quilting. You may have seen on my page the quilt that I did incorporating some of my marbled fabric. I do have some Halloween fabric that I have, or some marbled fabric in Halloween colors that I need to use. I still haven't decided upon a pattern. I haven't really had the chance to concentrate on it at all. So now I'll be getting ready. I have a show this weekend, and then I have one weekend off, and then Monday the 13th I head towards Illinois and the Crafters Convention. So I'm getting pretty excited for that. But I want to be prepared and have enough items. So let me turn you down so you can see what I'm doing, and I can adjust the placement of my cutting mat. So you can see. I have this wonderful magnetic pin holder, pin cushion for a better word. It's fantastic, and when I set it on the table, if I set it near a part of the frame, it will, waiting for this to catch up to see, there we go, I think that's good. It will grab on and I can't knock it off very easily, which is a wonderful thing. So I'm going to take this small one, and what I do is put it right on the point. I just lay the fabric right on the edge. Line this fold up with the lines on the grid on my ruler and a rotary cutter. This one is also only for fabric. So there's one strip of that size. Now I'll do the next strip. When I started quilting, we did not have rotary cutters, and so I learned to quilt and sew using only fabric scissors. Okay, there's that one. And I just stack the fabrics. Here's the folded strip that I just cut with the fabric on top, folded strip with that piece of fabric on top. And I'll put those aside. Now I'll go to the next one. Make sure it's nice and straight. There's no wrinkles. Okay, and get this next one and line it up. And I want to maximize my fabric. That's one of the things when I was learning to sew. You know, all the patterns, they have a pattern layout for your fabric in the instructions. And we learned how to lay the pattern out a little bit differently so that you can maximize the fabric, and you might need a little bit less, especially if you're short like I am. I'm sorry, I have a frog in my throat for some reason tonight. And then here we go with the great big one. Oh, is it freezing up? Again, I am in rural Idaho, so I apologize. These are going to be dog bandanas, Rachel. This is going to be, the white fabric will be the front of the dog bandanas. And they're bandanas that slip over the dog collar. Now these gigantic ones, I'm going to cut 2 strips because you don't get very many of these out of each strip because they're so wide. But I try to have something that will work for just about any furry friend. Because we used to have 2 Black Lab Pit Bull mixes. And, hi Colleen. No marbling tonight. And then a miniature dachshund. But they've all passed on now. So we are dogless, and it's probably a good thing because I am absolutely never home, and the children are all grown and gone, so I won't be getting another pet as much as I want one until such time as I'm able to stay home or my husband's able to stay home with it. Okay, so this is a second strip. Second strip of the big long ones. I wish the comments would stay up on the screen. Oh, Rachel, I have over here in my room, I have a whole basket of those fabric ornaments that you make, the quilted ones, where you fold it and you use the pins. I've made hundreds of those, and I quit selling them when I started this, and I still have a bunch. Okay, so there we go. Now, I'm not going to cut my fabric yet for the mask, because if I have enough left over out of one of these strips, I'll cut it out of that. So here I have just about, let's see, this might make me do math. Oh, here we go. I was going to say, this is going to make me do math, and I don't like to do math. I have a piece 20 inches by width of fabric. So it's almost a fat quarter. A little bit bigger. But I'll save that because this could be a pillow cover. I have enough here to make a pillow cover. Let's see. I apologize if I'm missing someone, and if I'm missing the comments, it's because they don't stay on my iPad very long, and I don't think all of them are popping up on my iPad that are on my... Yeah, it's probably my internet, Joanne. I have really poor internet out here in rural Idaho. It's the worst, but we don't have very many options. Okay, so I said this one was... It's actually... It's a little bit bigger than 15 3/4. I don't know if those are 8ths or 16ths, so it's just a little bit bigger. So now I will cut my length or my widths. So I know this is, I've got this here, for those of you who do not sew, this fabric finished edge is called the selvage edge. And it's the fabric finish. You don't want to use that, so I always cut that off. That's where, when it's being woven at the factory, that's where it's in their machine. So a lot of people will save these selvage pieces and then stitch them all together and make something. But I have a pillowcase that I use for, I put all my scraps like that in it, my fabric scraps, my batting scraps, things like that. And then when it gets full enough, I'll stitch it closed and it makes a wonderful dog bed. So I'll take it to the shelter. I have several that I need to actually stitch up. I ended up putting something in a garbage bag because I was running out of room. And I have not, okay. Right there. So I just moved this piece of cloth over a little bit. I'm measuring with my ruler. And I put the mark where I want to cut it right on this line. I made sure everything is lined up. Oops. Now I just undid it because that's the way I am. So let's measure again. Oh, it's perfect. Okay, so right here. And between the lines, the grid on the cutting mat and my ruler, I can get a fairly straight cut. All right, so there's one of the big ones. Now I'll do it again. So these are going to be dog bandanas. I should have brought an example. Actually, I think I have one. Hold on, I'll show you. Okay, I'm back. So these are ones that I tried doing the white on both sides. So this is the marbled side. And then this is the side where you turn it over and you print the other side. I don't like the way that turns out. That's why hi Holly. That's why I choose to put something else on the back. Because once you lift the paint out of the tank with the first print, there's a lot of blanks in between and the water's moving and I don't like it. So I just use just a neutral fabric on the back and white on the front, and then it gets marbled and the collars just slip right here, right through the top. So it's nothing you have to tie. So see, and this one didn't turn out well either. So when I did these, that's when I decided that I would put something else on the back because I was not happy. So that's what they look like when they're finished. So let's go ahead and cut the second one. Okay. All right, I just messed it all up. I try to be very precise. I know sewing these is not as precise as quilting, but once you've quilted, you kind of have a tendency to just continue to try to be that precise. No, a little bit more. There we go. Again, I'm just going to line it up here, and it looks like there's going to be plenty at the end of this, and which means it'll be on the other large piece for my mask. So there's that one. There's two of those. And I could have cut, did I cut one of these wrong? Yeah, this one will be a funny shape because I cut it a little bit too narrow. Too much gabbing, not enough paying attention. But now my mask needs to be 9 by 7. Let's see, how wide is this? 10. So I'm going to... I just love being able to use that. I have a cutting mat there's 3 pieces that fit together, and it sits the other direction, but none of the tables that I have are wide enough to accommodate it. So I just use this one section. I'd like to get a custom table in my studio that would accommodate the width, because it is like 35 inches in width. Okay, I need to cut this. Well, maybe that. So I only need 7 inches here. So a piece 9 by 7 is what I start with. And let's see, do I have enough? Oh, I'm just a little bit shy. And again, this has the selvage edge on it, so I can't use that. So I'm going to have to take a piece off of the other strip that I have set aside for the big one. All right, now let's see if I can get all of these the correct size, because I do want one more piece for my mask. I do have it's doubled, and then I may take that extra piece that's not quite big enough and use it as a lining. I haven't decided yet. And just cut that off, and that'll go in the dog bed bag. Okay. So line it up. I guess should see if there's... Yeah, oh, it's not freezing for you, Colleen? Again, my name, if you're new, my name is Linda Anderson, and I want it right there. I am a water marbling artist. I am currently just cutting these, this fabric to make dog bandanas. I will stitch them together, and then when I go to events, I allow the customer to marble it. You know, a really quick way I could do it is just lay it right on there and use the edges, huh? But there's another one. So I'm going to end up with 4 of these great big ones. I I go live every Monday night. Oh, I forgot to pin. Hold on, watch my finger in the way here. Let's see. I'll do it down here. This is my website. I'm going to pin my website. And you can shop from there. You can learn a little bit about some history. I still have not fixed it so that all my videos are on links. So it probably takes a minute to load. But there's lots of interesting information. There's videos. There's just photos of projects that I've done in the past. Right, there's the other one, and I just think this one's again be a little bit short again. So I'm going to do another 9 by 7. Get those pieces of fabric out of the way so I don't cut them. Let's see. I have always worked with fabric. I started sewing when I was 8 years old. And I think I was knitting by the time I was probably 10. So I've had a love of fabric my entire life in creating. So that was 9, right? 9 by 7. So I'll get it up here, line it up, and cut this at 7. Now only the front side of my mask will be marbled. So there's my 2 pieces for my mask. And I have a bunch of elastic. Because when everybody was making masks, I made a whole bunch. I was a member of a group for one of a university, and so I did a whole bunch in the university logoed fabric. I didn't sell them. I just had people pay shipping, and I gave them away. So that was fun. It was a lot of work. I did not take time off during the pandemic. I worked through the whole thing. 2 weeks we got off early, but that was about it. So I was busy last March, a year ago March. So this is going to be the next size down. Cut that off, and we'll do it this way to make sense. One. Let's see how many. Any guesses on how many we'll get out of this one? I just cut these out of just used printer paper. Two. I should have brought down, I have it in my prepped box, the pattern or the size for the itty weeny ones, but I didn't pull those out. Not everybody needs those tiny ones like I do. There's 3. Oh, this is going much faster than actually measuring it out. We're going to get 4 of this size out of each strip of fabric and have just a tiny bit left over. And I do marble these small strips or these small leftover pieces. And then my thought is I have a bunch of satin that's also left over that I marbled, and I'm going to try to coordinate it all into a quilt with like just a solid sashing. So maybe it's all black, maybe it's all, you know, whatever color, and around it, and work them all together, or try to find a good scrappy pattern to use. All right, now the next one. So we know we get about 4 out of each one. This one's just slightly smaller, so we'll see what we get out of this one. I forgot to bring my fan in here today, so it's getting a little warm. I'm sorry this isn't more exciting, but I thought it'd be interesting for you to see how this process begins and then see how it ends when I have some finished. I have to do this same exact thing with the back fabric, the coordinating fabric that I'll use. I don't know how much I have left. I was thinking how fun it would be to do like some holiday fabric with the holidays coming up. But I don't want people to think they have to, you know, match the marbled piece to the back. That's why I usually just use gray or black, a black print. It's more like a bandana. It's not a bandana, but that type, that feel. All right, there's 2. So these don't take too long to cut. I've never liked cutting the whatever I'm making. I like sewing it. I never like cutting it. So having to do this live tonight gave me something I can go live doing and hopefully inspire someone to learn how to do this. And then there's already videos of me stitching these together on my page, but I might take you through the entire process. I won't make you sit through cutting more fabric when I cut the backs, but we might go live doing the when I start sewing them together, because people love doing dog bandanas. And they're really not too time intensive for me. So I don't, you know, don't have to charge a whole lot to get my money back out of them. Plus I like it. So, okay, I was able to get, I believe, 5 out of this size. Just that little slight difference. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. 5 out of this size. Well, we're not done yet. There's one more step to go. Now we'll do the little one. How many are we going to get out of the little one? Do you think we'll get 6 out of it? I don't know if we will. But I have one more cut on all of them to do. I suppose I could have been more efficient and laid the strips together on the big one, but I just like to be a little more precise than that. So did everyone have an enjoyable Tuesday? I'm ready for the week to be done. Like I said, I do have a show this weekend. And then I'm very thankful for Monday. I don't have to work Monday, so I can take a little bit of time to recover from, it's such a lot of work to haul all this marbling stuff around. You know, all the bins with the different items you can marble, and all the pre-marbled stuff, the tanks, the paints, you know, it's a lot. The easy up, the grid walls. But I have such a good time. This last weekend when we were there, I was so busy that I did my husband said it's time to pack up. I thought he was teasing me because it didn't feel like we'd been there that long, which is a good thing. Instead of watching the clock, is it time to go yet? Is it time to go yet? Okay. Now, when I go to cut the angles, I may stack 2 of them together because that would just makes more sense. Oops. So how are we doing here? Let me see if we have any new comments. Hi, Mickey Hendricks. Welcome. My name is Linda Anderson, and I am prepping to sew dog bandanas for marbling. I'm actually using cutting fabric. A lot of my items, they all take prep. No matter what it is that's to be marbled, everything takes prep work. Did you see the leather earrings that I cut out the other day? Is anyone here going to Crafters Convention? If so, let me know if you'd like to see just some plain earrings that you can marble yourself at the event. So now I'm gonna, since this is the last size, just gonna line these 2 fabrics up. Put the pattern on it. Cut off the little corners. Now, this is where I need a little, they have a cutting mat, a small cutting mat, that is on a Lazy Susan, and that would be so nice to have right now for these little cuts. I just line that up, cut it off, and then I save these little triangles. I don't know why. I will use them for something. So there it is. There's 2 fronts cut. So we'll do 2 more. Okay, get the pattern on there. Go ahead and turn it. I have to have my glasses on for this. I was watching Abby and Kelly and working on a wreath before I started, and I had it on my phone. And it's like, yeah, I can hear them just fine, but I can't see a thing because I didn't have my glasses on. So I knew I was going to do this, so I had to go get my glasses. I can see distance just fine. It's just close up. I can't see anything. All right, so there are 4 in that size. And here is the last one. I also do use this fabric. I marble this fabric and make hand-bound journals, make the covers for the journals, and I do hand stitch the pages. It's the things that I can do with fabric and marbling is just amazing. I just am so excited that I can use this in so many different ways. I can use the leather to make composition notebook covers and bracelets and earrings and all kinds of things. I'm sure there's things I haven't even thought of yet. So there's the first bunch, all cut and ready for the backs. So, and that, it goes just that quickly. Whoops, I want 2 of these together. Just line them up nicely. When I've always done the quilted or something, I've always been cutting fabric for one thing or the other. And when my oldest daughter was little, I was cutting fabric and I had to go do something, and I put my rotary cutter down on the table and I said, "Do not touch that. It's very sharp. It will hurt you." And she said, "Okay." And so I stepped away. Guess what she did? All of a sudden I hear her yelling and crying, and I went in there, and sure enough, she had grabbed it and cut her fingers. And so I grabbed her and rushed her to the emergency room, and they put a Band-Aid on it and sent us home. So I was like, oh, well, okay. It wasn't that bad then. But so to this day, we still joke about it. She's also a quilter. And if I put that down, I'm going, "Dara, don't touch that." So it's now, since it wasn't serious, scared me to death. One thing you don't do is hurt my children or have my children hurt. I just come unglued. But it's kind of a funny story. And that's typical Dara. She has to find out for herself, or she just won't believe. She's my chemist, so she's very analytical. She has to know everything about everything. So we're almost done with the second size up. And these go together super quickly. It's literally, you stitch two pieces together here, you fold it back, and then it's out. When these pieces are out, you get them stitched together, and then you hem the edges, you fold it in and sew it, and then you put it right sides together and stitch around and turn it right side out and give it a good press. So they do go pretty quick. I chain piece, which means I'll sew the tops on all that size, and then I'll come back and cut them apart, press everything, and press in the hems on the edges, on all of that whole bunch, and then, move to stitching around the bandana. Alrighty. So that's about it. You've seen everything there is to see tonight. I just wanted to make sure I come on this week and at least said, "Hello, Dorothy, how are you?" I just saw that pop up there. And again, these are going to be dog bandanas. These are just the fronts that will be marbled. All right, and there's that bunch. I will cut the backs later. And the fabric I use for the backs has been pre-washed. I always pre-wash that. This shouldn't be too bad. The shrinkage should not be too bad because if it's already been prepped. And it's going to get wet and stuff when it's marbled, and it prepped, so it's going to shrink some before it's ever stitched into the bandana. This is so much quicker than it used to be. Pinning the pattern on and, pinning it down and then cutting each one. Well, you do it double layer, but still cutting around each one. This is so much faster. And I just feel it's so much more accurate as well. If I have any new people on here, my name is Linda Anderson and I own Aqueous Silk LLC. I am prepping these bandanas to be marbled. They will be dog bandanas. I feel like I just said that. Sorry for the repetitiveness. All right, so I'm just lining the pattern up there. Now this will be the last set of the, oh wait, I lied. There's two more. I thought these were the last two, but I was wrong. I have two more of this size, and then I move on to the big ones. And you know, there's only 4 of those, I believe. But with the show this weekend, I wanted to make sure I have enough for Crafters Convention. So there's that. And the last 2. Line up the fabric. Let's see if there's any comments. Hi, Ada. Welcome, welcome. No, this is too little. This must be one of these. Oh, this is my mask. I almost forgot. I tried to cut my mask. So that is all of this size. I was thinking this doesn't fit any of these. So that goes there. This goes here. And I still have quite a bit of this medium size done. Let's see, that's the mask. Once I get them all stitched together, then I prep the fabric for marbling. Okay, so let's get 2 of these. I know I cut one of these the wrong size, but that's all right. We'll make do. We'll kind of center this. One of them will be just slightly narrower. It'll be the same depth. Okay, here's the pattern. And what I did was kind of trying, this is, the little one is underneath this big one. I'm kind of just centering. So it'll just be slightly narrower. It's not going to hurt anything. It won't hurt the shape. It's going to be just slightly narrower than this one. So this is 2 of them. There we go. And look at, that's a good size piece of scrap. So I will definitely marble that. Okay, there's 1, or there's 2, excuse me. I taught 4-H sewing for about 10 years, and I'd get after the kids if they'd put their rotary cutter down and not close the guard. And ever since I stopped doing that and started, you know, quilting just for myself or gifts, just with no younger children around, I rarely ever put that guard back on it before I put it down. I can't tell you how many times I've almost knocked it on the floor onto my foot because I can't stand to wear shoes if I'm in the house. So it's not a good thing to do. I have another one that has a button. You don't have to turn the guard. It won't even turn right now, but it has a button and you just click it and it closes up. Of course, I couldn't find that one when I was getting ready to do this. I have a feeling it's on my dining room somewhere amongst all the bookbinding stuff. All right, there we go. There are all the big ones, the 4 big ones. And I know I have some large ones already in my box, ready, that are prepped and ready to go, sewn. There's the next size. No. There's that size, and now there's this size, just a little bit smaller, and then the small ones. So there we go. So I know that was not as exciting as marbling, but I hope you found it enjoyable. I certainly appreciate your company. I appreciate you taking the time to join me tonight. And I'm getting warm in here. Sorry, you can see me. I'm glistening. And I'll definitely come on and show you a finished one. I should have the backs cut. I don't know what time it is tonight, but I might cut the backs tonight. I might not. I might cut them tomorrow. And Friday I have to load the trailer. So I have Thursday and Friday yet of this week to get these together. So anyway, I appreciate you coming on tonight. I unannounced live and not marbling, so thank you. I appreciate your time. Have a wonderful week, everyone. 3 more days. It's almost the weekend, and most of us will get a long weekend. I apologize to those of you who don't, but I'll be enjoying my 3rd day. So take care, everyone. Have a wonderful week, and I'll see you on Monday. Bye. Yeah, I will be live on Monday night marbling. Even though it's Labor Day, I will go live that night. So I'll talk to you later. Bye, everyone.